Good afternoon, NAACP family, and thank you guys so much for joining us for another edition of our Google Hangouts. Today we're going to be talking about artists and activism, and it's right on time because the NAACP Image Awards are just days away. Be sure to tune in this Friday on TV1 at 8 p.m. Eastern, and make sure you catch the Image Awards this year. Speaking of artists and activism, it is my pleasure to introduce someone who embodies what it means to be both an artist and an activist. Allow me to introduce the legendary, one of Brooklyn's finest, the first lady of hip hop, none other than MC Lyte. How you doing, MC Lyte?
I am well, thank you. Thank you very much for that introduction, and I'm excited for the NAACP Awards this year, well, as I am every year. So it's great to be here with you all.
Awesome, and thank you so much for joining us. Let's get right to the subject at hand. We've seen throughout your career you giving back, you serving your community, you investing your finances, being a philanthropist. Why is that? Why have you made giving back and serving your community a top priority?
Well, I mean, I just feel like it's part of the reason I even became an artist. You know, my first song was "I Cram to Understand You," which was a song that I really geared towards my peers to not be involved with drugs in any capacity. Don't take them, don't sell them, don't date anyone who takes them or sells them. And I just felt like that was a mission because that was what was plaguing my community and other communities that I would even visit. And so to be in a space where I now have the opportunity to help people in multiple ways, you know, not just with an anti-drug message, but with, you know, our education programs, financial literacy, mentorship, scholarships. You know, it just makes sense for me. I can't ignore the need for it.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Hip Hop Sisters Foundation, such a dynamic organization that's doing all of those things you mentioned in terms of mentoring and giving back.
Well, yes. Well, thank you very much for that acknowledgement. Hip Hop Sisters is about redefining the essence of women and girls through education, financial literacy, encouragement, empowerment. It's all about really giving whatever it is that's necessary for someone to feel whole and someone who can make better decisions because they have the proper tools to be able to succeed in today's world. And so we've given away 4 $100,000 scholarships so far to women, but now we are all about educate our men, hashtag educate our men, and this is where thus far we've given away 3 $50,000 scholarships to men attending Dillard University, and we'll continue through that mission 2015, giving several others away, and we're all about supporting HBCUs, so we want to see men attend school, further their education, and we're excited about it. There are a few initiatives as it relates to educate our men where we want to educate them on how to properly deal with us, you know.
Well, that's awesome. And as a proud HBCU graduate, I'm glad to see you definitely teaming up with the good folks at Dillard University. Shout out to DU. Quick question. This is something that I've always wanted to ask MC Lyte. You've been doing this since I was a kid. And you know, I seen you in DC not too long ago with Lauryn Hill and the Black Girls Rock, and there were so many young female MCs who ripped the mic that day. And I'm like, when you started, there weren't a lot of mentors to look up to. So how do you feel when you see young girls killing on stage?
Oh, it makes me feel good. You know, it takes a lot of courage to do what those young women do on a day in and day out basis, especially when they don't have, you know, major record deals that sort of validate them, or they could look towards them for validation, and they don't. They say, you know what, huge deal or no deal, I am going to speak my truth and and continue to create on a level where it inspires other people. So I just wind up being inspired by watching them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so I know you have this new single out, Unstoppable. Is that sort of, again, with just the positive messaging? Tell us about the new single and how you see it impacting people.
Well, actually, the book is called Unstoppable, and we also have another book called Fusion that is a in-depth conversation with Dr. Benjamin Chavis about politics and hip-hop and the bridge between the two. However, with the music, we have a song out called Dear John that is the theme song for #EducateOurMen, where Common and I are speaking to men all over about what it is that they're faced with and how it is that they have to continue on with their mission, be it, whatever their goals are, they can still reach them. They just have to be in a space where they never give up. 10 Beats is the producer, and he also appears on the hook on that song. And then after that, we have Ball with Lil Mama, and it's all about, female empowerment. And we're taking the microphone and doing what we do to the best of our ability. And the album will come in April. So I'm excited. It's a lot of great things happening. I'm hosting my own morning show on Centric, which is exciting, called Morning Cup. So be sure to get Centric and tune into that as from 7 to 9 a.m. And we're having fun. We're talking nutrition. We're talking financial literacy, how to get your money right with one of our experts, Lynn Richardson. We also have fitness instructors that come on. It's a fun morning show, but it also is enveloped in music, which is what I'm all about.
Man, that's good stuff. And you talk about getting your money right. I think something that you've been able to excel in, not only music, is the business of the music industry. When I'm listening to award shows and I'm hearing the voiceovers, when I'm listening to commercials and I'm hearing your voice, how do you get that message of business? Getting your rhymes tight is definitely something you have to do as an artist, but making sure that you understand the financial infrastructure of the entertainment industry. How do you kind of get that message to up and coming young women?
Well, in keeping it 100% real, I am an artist, right? Like, business is not the thing that I want to think about. I want to think about the next rhyme, the next, TV show, the next speech, the next. So it's really about assembling a team that knows business, that respects business, and that, of course, you have to respect them, because then what it is that they tell you can actually make an impact, and you can do what's necessary to move the business forward. It is really important. If not, you can just be rhyming on a street corner for the rest of your life. So it's important to be able to have a team of people that are going to move the efforts further along.
Absolutely. And quick, I'm not sure if you've seen your girl Missy a couple of days ago on the Super Bowl. I found it interesting that after the Super Bowl, so many people were like, oh, there's this person named Missy, and she makes really hot songs. Like, what was your reaction to her performance at the Super Bowl and this new generation of maybe women who are aspiring to be MCs discovering her?
Well, she told me last year that she was going to do it, so I was already prepped for it. But, when Missy hits the stage, it's like a video in action. She makes sure that she has a lot of dancers. She knows the choreography. She moves well. That's something that was different that Missy brought to the table as it relates to female MCs. Pretty much the rest of us were kind of standing still, and if we did any movement, it was just a side-to-side two-step. But Missy came in and also made dance music. Her beats per minute were 120 and up, which was, sort of like in that Push It vein with Salt and Pepper or Planet Rock. So when I saw the performance, I just thought it was right on time. It was something that I definitely want to commend Katy Perry or her producers or whoever thought that Missy would be an amazing addition to the show because she really showed out, showed up. And I think as for the younger women and men just being exposed to who Missy Elliott is, that's a beautiful thing, you know. So that sets her up for the next lot of music that she wants to put out. I thought it was dope.
Most definitely. All good stuff. Well, before I ask you any more questions, I don't want to hog all your time. We want to go to an audience member who is really, really interested, has a pressing question for you. So let's go to her.
Oh, I don't hear her.
We can't, audience member, we can't hear you.
Okay.
Nicole Kenney
Hi.
from Baltimore.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi, MC Lyte. Thank you so much for taking my question. I really appreciate it. I'm a huge admirer of you and the work of your foundation, and I just wanted to know if you could speak a little bit about how we can get more celebrities to do the type of economic work you're doing. So, for instance, getting more celebrities to provide college scholarships to students who need them.
Well, I think with each celebrity, what it is that they decide to promote or propel, it has to be true to them, and education happens to be not only very important to me, but it's also important to the president and CEO of the foundation. And so with many other celebrities, I know that they have foundations, but they speak to another cause. They speak to another mission. So it might be, Ludacris does Runaways. So he wants to be able to provide counseling and, places for young people to stay. I know that, Queen Latifah has an organization where they like to be able to dress those who are making the transition from homelessness into now having their own places, but getting back into the workspace. So she likes to be able to gather up clothing and wardrobe for these women who may have had to leave their homes due to, domestic violence or whatever it was. But that's what her longing and her cause speaks to. So everybody has their own. It just so happens that ours at Hip Hop Sisters is education, and it definitely touches someone like you when, because education is important.
Right. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right. And we'll go back. We actually have another question from Twitter. It's coming from Doug Watkins. Doug says, with existing and emerging technology, how can we augment the use of smartphones and the internet and help to bridge the digital divide? So we know, like, back in the day, everyone didn't have access to the internet. Now that's increased, but we still see people struggling with access to computers, access to mobile phones, and in some corners of the earth, access to the internet. So how can we help bridge that divide as both artists and as regular folks?
I have no answer for that question. The only thing I can imagine is, I know that Apple and Microsoft sometimes give computers to centers where there is work being done, and that's where their philanthropic work comes in. But I have absolutely no idea.
All good.
I'm sorry. I wish I could have been more helpful.
We'll get back to Doug. But another question. We know it's February. We know it's Black History Month. We know that the entire country has its attention right now focused on celebrating and commemorating the influence and impact and contributions of African Americans throughout history. And I was curious if you had a favorite Black History Month person or a favorite figure in history or even recent memory who kind of inspires you, who motivates you to keep moving forward.
Well, I would certainly have to say, and it may sound cliche, but he's done so much work for us as a people and in such a positive way, but yet exuded so much strength, and that is Martin Luther King Jr. So I would have to say him.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And as we begin to wrap up, what do you want? Connect is our audience for young NAACPers in high school and in college. who are really interested in social justice, who are really interested like you in giving back, serving their communities, what is your message to them as they are watching this broadcast?
Well, I would just say to remain focused with what it is that you want to do, set forth your goals, and write a plan to attain each of those goals. And so it might be that you need to get yourself straight, your family straight, that structure straight, and then double back and give. Because if you have nothing to give is kind of, moot point. So you want to be able to make sure you take care of yourself in the right way, and that means mentally, physically, spiritually, being able to feel like you are whole, and then going out and attacking, your activism or whatever it is that you see fit for you to do for your community and the world at large.
All good stuff. Thank you so much, MC Lyte. And where could people find information about the Hip Hop Sisters Foundation?
hiphopsisters.org, and I am mclyte.com.
Good stuff. So check it out, guys. Do me a favor. Make sure you follow up with Hip Hop Sisters Foundation. Be sure and like the NAACP Connect on both Facebook and Twitter. And last but not least, don't forget to tune in to the NAACP 46 Image Awards, airing this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on TV1. Thank you guys so much, and shout out to MC Lyte.
Take care. God bless. Thank you.